Hey guys, it's Meredith from Jeanette's Pier. In this video, I'm going to go over recycling. There's lots of confusion these days about what you can and can't recycle, so hopefully I'll clear everything up for you. The information I'm going to tell you today comes from the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, and it applies to the majority of the recycling programs in the entire state of North Carolina. If you live in a different state, your recycling could be slightly different, but overall it should be pretty much the same. So what can I put in my standard curbside recycling bin? For plastics, it's bottles, tubs, jugs, and jars. Forget everything you know about the recycling symbol and numbers. Using numbers to figure out what you can recycle is very out of date, and unfortunately it's all wrong. So from now on, just remember the plastic shapes of bottles, tubs, jugs, and jars are what you can recycle. Note that this does not include cups, bags, styrofoam, to-go containers, or any other type of plastic packaging. Unfortunately, these plastic items are not recyclable and will go in the trash from now on. Now, since you can't recycle plastic bags, this also means that you can't bag your recyclables. Just make sure they're loose in your can. Lots of people, though, are figuring out that you can take your plastic bags and other plastic films back to the grocery store to be recycled at a specialized facility. I definitely encourage you guys to do this if your grocery store has one of those drop-off containers. But you need to make sure you're taking them the right plastic film. In order to make sure it's acceptable, you can just perform a simple stretch test. If your plastic film stretches, it's good to go. And if your plastic film tears, it's trash. The plastics are the most confusing category for sure, so you are likely already sorting everything else correctly. For metal, you can recycle all cans. No scrap metal or hangers, but anything with a can shape is good to go. For glass, you can recycle bottles and jars, but no household glass like wine glasses or mirrors. There are a few recycling facilities in the state that no longer accept glass, but the vast majority of them still do. For paper, you can recycle any paper or cardboard bigger than a Post-it note, so no shredded paper. You also cannot recycle low-grade paper like tissues, napkins, or paper towels, and you cannot recycle any type of paper eatery like paper plates, paper cups, or pizza boxes because they've been tainted with food and beverage. Now, sometimes you come across an item that's made up of more than one material, such as this glass jar with a metal lid, or this plastic bottle that I know has a metal pump on the inside. What I'm going to do in these cases is I'll separate the item and I will only recycle the appropriate parts. For glass, I know I can recycle bottles and jars, and for metal, I know I can recycle cans. So when I separate these two pieces, I have a glass jar that I know I can recycle. This piece of metal, however, is not a can, so it's going to go in the trash. For plastics, I know I can recycle bottles, tubs, jugs, and jars. So when I separate my two pieces of my soap bottle here, I have a plastic bottle, which I know I can recycle. This piece of plastic, though, is not a bottle, tub, jug, or jar, and it still has that metal pump on the inside, so this is definitely going to be trash. When I come across a bottle like this, however, where the whole thing is plastic, the bottle and the lid, that means I can recycle the whole thing. I'll just leave the lid screwed on and put it right in the recycling. Another thing that's generally okay to leave is staples and tape on paper. Usually the recycling facilities can handle this, but it also doesn't hurt to take it off. If you ever don't know where something belongs, go ahead and put it in the trash. It's much safer to do this than to put it in the recycling and risk contaminating it with something that doesn't belong. When in doubt, throw it out. Even for someone that's super into recycling like me, it's a lot to remember sometimes. Feel free to click on the link in our caption to print off some easy guides that will help you remember what you can and can't recycle. Recycling is really great when done properly, but don't forget to reduce and reuse as well.